neck, building a podcast that kicks the cool to the curb. Welcome to Kick the Cool. We are the siblings you always wished you had, bringing you the reviews you didn't know you needed. I'm America's big sister, Shishi.
And I am not the big little brother you wish you had. My name is Tone.
Yes, you are.
And I'm a flip-flop, lollywop, littlest brother,
Yeah.
Wopsle.
Give a
Flip
dog a
flop.
bone.
Give a dog a bone.
Okay, well, I recently went back to work, and I just need to talk about that for a minute. After 8 weeks away from work, I have now started to reintegrate into my pre-COVID life, and it has been a little bit of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wondered how you guys are doing with your routines. Are they getting back to normal?
Well, I found that the key is to start off on a good foot, especially the first day, right? So I know it's probably already past the first day for most people, but what you should have done was those of you who declared your entrance with arms splayed out and said something in the lines of "ta-da" when you entered your workplace. That's how you started. That's what I did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not how I did it. So I kind of hunched my shoulders and held my mask up close to my face. And then I had to unlock the door because I was locked out. And then I was like, well, now I'm touching the door. So that's the way my first day went.
Oh, good point. I did not say ta-da. I said ta-da because of my mask.
Yeah, now I have been known to just kind of whenever I get bored early in the mornings at my office, I'll walk around with my guitar and just play music. Usually it's Garth Brooks because like nobody's going to complain about hearing Garth Brooks in the hallway. But what if that's the way that I want to announce my entrance? Because we actually, as of this recording, next Tuesday is when we go back to regular offices. So do you guys have any good song suggestions? What can I like go around traveling troubadour style and sing in my office to announce my return?
Great question. Well, I will say you said Garth Brooks, and I immediately said Chris Gaines.
Okay, be a way to keep it fresh,
Right.
but still have a nod back. Yeah,
Very timely.
Is it timely? Why is it timely?
It's so not timely. Well, I did hear a friend of mine
What's the
said
exact opposite of timely. Whatever.
A friend of mine said the other day that Garth Brooks lately has been getting a lot of popularity because his Instagram is so completely insane that he just everything that happens, you watch it and you go, oh, he's crazy.
Do we follow him on Kick the Cool? We should follow him.
We're gonna.
We will. Yeah.
Hey, Garth.
And we're gonna follow Chris Gaines.
Does Chris have an Instagram though? Oh, I would die if he had an Instagram.
If he doesn't, we're gonna make one.
He's got a fake one, if nothing else.
Right.
True. Everybody's got a fake one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, no, I like that. I like that idea. I will update you guys as to which Chris Gaines song I picked and how it went, and who all sang along.
I love you, man. I wish you'd come to work at my place and just walk around and play the guitar.
Okay. I will.
Okay.
Do you have a tip jar?
When people want to tip me, I just say, "You owe me one." I just keep yelling that into the doors of the office mates,
whether they
even if they don't want to tip
or
you.
not.
Right as they're shutting the door, right before it shuts, I say, "You owe me one," just real quick. So,
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
You should carry around a little piece of paper and just put tally marks next to their name on all the ones they owe you.
Yeah.
Somebody comes walking by you, you just pull out your pad, stop playing your guitar, pull out your pad, and just make
What was your name again? Lindsay? Okay, you owe me one.
You owe me one, sorry.
Yeah. So a lot of times people will come in like with a coffee or something from Starbucks for me. And sometimes I'll tell them, I'll say, hey, this doesn't count, right? Like, you still owe me one. So I'm really working that deal. Like, I give a lot more, I get a lot more than I give, and I'm working that angle pretty good.
And if need be, you pull out the pad and show them.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Right.
it says right here,
You
you owe me two, actually.
I'll be like,
Actually, I think
if
you could keep a spreadsheet. and then
Yeah.
email it to them so that everyone can keep track.
Everyone who owes me one.
You make it a shared document, and then you just send
one's
the link.
owed.
Yeah.
And then,
One's owed as of May 1st.
I am going to use that phrase so many times now. Somebody make a meme.
Right.
Oh my gosh. You guys crack me up. Okay, well, I think we probably need to start doing some reviews. And the BLB is up first this week. So, Tone?
Hey, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah, my name's Tone, and I'm the BLB, Big Little Brother. And today, I want to review Sunroofs.
Oh, man.
Okay.
See, it's...
Got the thoughts about sunroofs. Yeah.
Clarification. Is it T-tops also, or does it have to be a sunroof?
That is a perfect question. And I'm going to make a ruling that yes. Of course we're going to include T-tops.
Yes.
I didn't even think about T-tops. Wopsle, what do you think about sunroof?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the sunroof. And sunroof is kind of one of those deals that you really notice it when... Because I don't really have it open that often. But then whenever I get in line for the automatic car wash, and I'm just like... I forgot I've got this sunroof. And then you can open the little part and look out. And it's like a whole nother dimension of the automatic car wash, which is you don't get that without the sunroof or T-tops.
Right.
So I'm a big fan.
Yeah. And I bet your kids love it too.
Yeah, totally.
Well, now I don't understand. I
That
guess
would be
I thought the automatic car wash would end up spraying water through your sunroof.
Well, no, you can move the little hard part, but then the glass stays there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like an eyelid.
Yeah.
You can open
Mhm.
the eyelid
Yes.
of your sunroof.
Very well said.
Well, now I'm going to be really uncomfortable next time
Leave
I
it
do
to
that.
me to give you uncomfortable imagery to accompany your
there's
task.
a good nightmare. There's a good nightmare. I'm going to open my sunroof thingy, and instead of the sunroof, there's going to be an eyeball. And then what do? You wave.
You poke it.
You say, "Look out!"
But I also love it because we've been doing a lot of birthday parades, because we can't go to actual birthday parties right now. And every time we do, both the kids are sticking out that top of that and just waving and throwing candy and stuff. And so you can't be in a car parade. It's really awkward to be in a parade style situation without a sunroof.
Hanging out the window in a parade? No, come on.
Right.
That's so wrong.
Right. Don't do that.
No, hanging out the window smoking a cigarette. Come on.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, Shishi, what are you thinking about these?
Well, I am going to send you a picture of a car that I had.
I like it.
So this is a car I had when I was in college, except mine had T-tops. And so I've never had a car with a sunroof or T-tops, and this is the only one I've ever had. And it's really the dorkiest thing I've ever seen. You had to take off the T-top things on both sides. They weighed 30 pounds. So I'm wrestling these things. You have to find a place to store them. And I'm not going to just leave them off all night. So I'm going to take them off, put on my bikini top, go right around downtown in Oklahoma City, look cool, think people are looking at me. And then I'm going to go home and wrestle these T-tops back on my car and clamp it all down.
Right.
So
I got to take off each 30-pound T-top. I don't want to just throw them anywhere. So I got to carefully adjust and place them, get in my car put on my bikini top, get in the car, go to the corner store, get my gasoline, go back home, put the T-tops back on. Wow.
Right. You just described it.
I do. I remember the storage of them being such a problem because even though they weren't just giant, they took up your whole trunk because you couldn't have anything else in there.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Now, what, in your opinion, is the best car to have T-tops?
Got to be a Firebird.
That's what I was thinking.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Got to be an 82 Firebird.
Oh, man. Smokey and the Bandit Firebird, get out of town. Smokey and the Bandits T-tops changed my life.
Yeah, that's why it is, I guess. Yeah, because he had them T-tops.
So I'm calling it Firebird, but it's a Trans Am. So sorry. Well, it's a Firebird Trans Am. But I mean, you have to call it a Trans Am because that's the cool name.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
In case you didn't know.
It sure sounds to me,
Oh.
clearly. Firebird, what a dork.
What a dork.
Firebird, yeah, right. Birds aren't on fire.
I was going to call it T-Bird, and is that just a thing from Greece, or is that actual car too?
That's a Thunderbird. So
Yeah.
you'd call your
You're thinking of a
Thunderbird a
Thunderbird.
T-Bird. But it's a totally different kind of car.
Yeah.
Still very cool. But
Can we do this? What would be the just dumbest and worst car to have T-tops on it? Like, I think like a Pinto with T-tops would be pretty awesome.
That would be the best.
You know what? Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say any car with T-tops is better.
Okay.
Instantly made better by adding T-tops.
Challenge accepted.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you think about, do you guys remember the approximately 3/4 mile long car that Mom had that was a Lincoln Continental, and you had to push the gas pedal literally like 74 times before trying to start it.
Remember, she used to count to 100. She'd do 50,
Right,
and if that didn't work, she would do 100. And we would all count with her, and she would just sit there and count.
Yeah, she would make you be quiet so she could count.
To 100 pushes of the gas.
Some of the cars we've owned.
But anyway, that car, throw some T-tops on that long Lincoln Continental, one of those.
Better.
That would look so stupid.
Better.
I feel like they would have to be so long, too. It would have to be like a real big bunch of open space, which I think I'm on board, that's better. That is better.
Yeah, you're right. You just sold us.
And there's plenty of trunk space.
Now, so we've talked about T-tops, so we haven't gotten to sunroofs very much yet.
Well, right.
Who all has a sunroof in their car right now? I do.
No,
Okay. Have you ever had a sunroof in your car, She?
I've not.
Okay. Well, we need to cut one in yours.
We'll be over tomorrow.
We need
afternoon.
to make one. Yeah.
Okay. If we're going to cut it, I want T-tops. So.
Well, now you can't go buy a new car with T-tops right now, can you? I don't think they make
so.
T-tops anymore.
I don't think they do that anymore.
So we might have a business idea right here. Custom made T-tops.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
If you made T-tops that retract like a sunroof, they would be way more popular than sunroofs.
Yeah, totally. Completely.
Man, something I haven't done yet, and it's not real easy for a big feller to do, but I have not gotten up out of my sunroof yet. I've had the car for about a year, and I have not just jumped up there, and I don't know why I haven't. I know I haven't had a reason to, but that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Is that something that, like,
I still should have done it.
Is that something that you aspire to when you have a sunroof?
You want to experience that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're ever in a limo and you don't stick your face out of the sunroof, something's wrong with you. What are you doing with your life?
Like that's what, yeah. You're in the limo, you push that button, and then you're like, oh, and then you go up and it's the city lights and you're like looking around, smiling, and everything's good. It's a way smaller scale to just do that when you park at your apartment complex in the middle of the day.
And struggle for about 17 minutes to get your body up contorted
I think
into the
you
right
guys have
spot.
lived very different lives from me.
You're just up there out of breath and sweating and just looking around.
Just kind of halfway out.
And they're looking at you
just-
like, was it worth it?
Everyone's like, that man's trapped. That man's trapped.
The fire department's there.
That's why we've got to ban these evil sunroofs.
Yeah. This would never happen with T-tops. They could just roll right out the side. But
T-tops rule. Moonroofs drool.
Moonroofs
man.
rule.
Okay, well, you have to tell us how that goes then when you decide to do it.
I will. I'll come on the podcast and give a full review while I'm wearing my back brace.
Or I'll just include it in your eulogy if you just want to let me just take that.
I'll go ahead and get a police report, and I'll just recite that on the podcast.
And we'll review it for you.
Yeah, there you go. Let's rate sunroofs. Wopsle, what do you rate sunroofs?
It's funny that we're rating sunroofs when all we talked about is T-tops.
That's right.
But
how about sunroofs slash T? How about holes in your car roof? How about that? Holes in your roof.
Okay. I rate openings in the roof of your car.
Nice.
One giant eyeball pressed against whatever glass is up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yep.
I have to split mine. You know, I can't just make one decision. So, because I've never had a sunroof, but they look a little lame to me. So, T-tops are obviously the bomb. So, I'm gonna give T-tops get a 9 out of 10 every time, and then a sunroof probably. Wait, I have a question. What's the difference between a sunroof and a moonroof?
Well, I was going to ask you that when you said moonroof. I was like, yeah, I know that word. I don't know what that means.
Did I say moonroof?
I think
You said moonroof.
Okay.
I think a moonroof is when you're limoing out the top of it with your pants down. I think that's...
or
unintentionally.
It's become
because
right.
you got caught on the
you
way
got caught
out.
while you're trying to get out there.
Yeah.
Your belt got hooked
That's a
on the
moonroof.
mechanism, and there it went.
And again, that's what they put on the police report. Moonroof.
Right. We got a code 31 moonroof over here.
Okay, but moon/sunroofs. The moonroof gives it a little bit more. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10.
Okay, well, I am going to give sunroof and / T-tops because someone once told me that T-tops rule, sunroofs drool. So I'm going to give it a drool.
Oh.
No, that's good. It's good.
Great.
I love it.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, who's our second guy? I guess it's Wopsle. Ooh, surprise. Wopsle's next.
That's weird.
What you got, Wops?
I want us to review this week the free setup at restaurants.
Oh.
Because I feel like right now everyone's like tucked away in their homes. And what I feel like everybody's saying is as soon as the country opens back up, I'm going to a Mexican restaurant.
Right.
And I'm going to be there for 6 hours eating chips and salsa.
Oh,
and queso.
that's okay.
Right.
I didn't know what a free setup was. Okay.
So yeah, that's called setup, I think. So, but I want to talk about chips and salsa and queso. I want to talk about the bread that places give you, just like the free stuff that they give you at restaurants.
Okay.
Well, I find that very interesting because you may have just explored all of those opportunities because what else is there? I mean, there's bread and there's chips.
Bread and chips.
What else have we got?
Because there's a fine line between that and appetizers, and we don't want to do appetizers. I've decided that setup forks can't be involved, so it's got to be just like snacky kind of finger stuff. But yeah, part of what I want to talk about is what
peanuts.
That's right.
Oh, peanuts is one. Great call.
I win.
That is a great call. You won.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what my mind immediately went to was, yeah, there are a couple of things here that don't make any sense. And one is, why do you go to the Mexican restaurant and get so much chips and sometimes free queso? Chips and queso? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
And that's an entire meal before you start your meal. And then you go to all these other restaurants and you don't get anything. And they're like, do you want water? Like, we can give you that for free. And then
Right.
it's the same thing as pizza delivery. Why did no one go, yeah, pizzas, they're doing this thing where they deliver the food. We're going to try that until Grubhub. And then everybody's like, revelation. This is amazing. You're not pizza. Wait. Explain this to me. Are you telling me you're not pizza?
Yeah, but I think here's what I think is interesting. I go to Chili's. They don't give me anything free. And then I go to, I go to all these restaurants and they don't give me anything free. And if I go to a Mexican restaurant and they give me chips and salsa, but no queso, I'm like, this is a travesty. Like, I'm so upset. But all these other restaurants don't give me anything and I don't care.
Do you know what kind of online rating you're going to get now? Come on.
Right. I open Yelp on my phone and just leave it up on the table, like, so they know it's coming.
Just look at it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Pointedly.
Well, here's what are there any other? I was thinking about food types, right? Like Mexican restaurants have chips and salsa. I feel like Italian kind of restaurants sometimes have bread. They'll bring out like a basket of breads.
Totally.
Yeah.
A steakhouse either has bread or peanuts. I feel like. Is there another kind of food like an American food like hamburgers and chicken strips? They don't have setup, right? But
right.
But if they did, what kind of setup should they have?
Why don't more places do potato chips? Just throw a bowl of chips out. Come on.
Yeah.
Chips would be okay, I guess. I mean, I prefer that on a bologna sandwich, but okay.
Oh yeah. That makes a bologna sandwich a lot better.
Whatever bologna sandwich restaurant there is out there, it's got to have, you can choose though. You can choose your setup between sour cream and onion lays or mesquite barbecue lays.
That's right.
Or plain lays.
What a great restaurant idea. The bologna sandwich place, and your only real choice is whether you want mayonnaise or mustard and what flavor chips are going to be on the sandwich.
Yes. That's a great idea. And we've already got the setup figured out for it, so it's like good to go.
Yeah, what would pizza? I mean, throw some breadsticks out here.
Yeah, pizza seems like one that should be it. Maybe they should give away more free of their like cheese dipper sticks.
I think that pizza is a kind of a high cost item, so they have to keep their, they can't just give away their food.
In pizza restaurants, not only do they not give you anything free, but have you ever tried to sneak even like one single bite from the salad bar at a pizza restaurant?
No. I'm too scared.
Like a cage comes down, like sirens go off. They boot you straight out. They are more protective of that than any restaurant is of anything in the world. So,
okay, so here's the other side of it. So all of the Mexican restaurants say we do this because our overheads are low, blah blah blah. And all the pizza places say we deliver because that's what you do. And apparently pizza's cheap enough that the overheads aren't so bad, blah, blah, blah. But isn't there something to be said for if I give you at a pizza joint, I give you cheese dippers and a free thing of ranch at your table every time you come in? Aren't I going to end up getting more business and therefore growing my restaurant beyond everyone else?
I think so, because at least in Oklahoma, this is true. When we talk about Mexican restaurants, we never talk about who has the best burrito or enchilada. All we talk about is who has the best chips and salsa and queso.
That's true, yeah.
And then we make our decision based on that.
It's so true.
I had this idea. I was thinking about pizza specifically, and I got to thinking, I think these are pretty cheap. What if a pizza place did pizza rolls for setup? Just like a plate of like poorly heated up pizza rolls that's like lava and ice simultaneously.
And squirts out and bites your chin and freezes your lips at the same time.
Well, then your pizza wouldn't have to be any good because no one's taste buds would make it all the way doing the pizza. Yeah. You'd be so scalded.
I love that idea. Pizza rolls, man. I would go to that place every time. Are you kidding?
See, I would too.
And hold on a second. Then we've got the example of a normal pizza restaurant versus, what is it called? Cece's?
There is the Cece. Yeah, the cheap ones.
The pizza buffet all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so why that discrepancy? What's going on here? Why does this one not have delivery and has buffet all day, every day, and this other pizza place does not, has a totally different setup? What's going on?
This is different, but speaking of, pizza buffet, now that you bring that up, have you ever been to a pizza buffet and seen how busy the entire restaurant is nonstop during buffet hours?
Yeah, yeah.
And then have you been to that same restaurant any other time where it's not so busy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You'd think they'd figure it out and just become Cece's.
Right. You go up to get some pizza and the buffet has just been like attacked by wild animals There's like random slices on the wrong pans, and
it's like Pizza Black Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God.
Every buffet is like Pizza Black Friday.
Yeah. I don't know. There's part of me that says restaurant people are pretty smart and they have a reason for doing things the way they do. But like, no, like I've said for a while, I feel like a bucket of chicken seems like a pretty deliverable dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I feel like KFC should have been delivering pizza all these years because it just seems like that's another deliverable thing, and they're not. So I feel like the food industry would be an easy one just to look around and say, oh, they're doing something that works? Cool. Hey guys, we're doing something new that works over there. We're just doing it. I really thought we might solve some of the problems with the restaurants that don't have the setup, but I don't know that we're any farther along now than we were. So let's just cut our losses.
Well, here's what we need. We need all of our fans to tell to anyone who has an insight on this, please on Facebook or wherever, explain to us what's going on or what we're missing here, because I heard a friend of mine the other day said, or a fan of our show said that she was, the whole time that she was on the treadmill, she was yelling out loud, like telling us where we were getting things wrong,
Yeah,
there's some restaurateur out there that knows and that's yelling at us. So
so yell on Facebook.
Yes.
Come let us know. We would love to know. Okay, well, now after that, whatever that discussion was, how do you rate free setup at restaurants?
It's free, so it gets a 10 out of 10.
Yes, okay.
Yep, that's the right rating. I'm going to give it the rating of Fritza, pizza that's free, Fritza.
Okay, yeah. No, what if at a pizza restaurant you just walked in and they gave you free pizza?
That was the name of the restaurant, is Fritza.
That's the setup.
They just give people pizza as a setup, and then they go, "Hey, do you want some more?
You want to buy some pizza?
Yeah, you want to buy some pizza? Or hey,
you guys not ready to order yet?
You guys want some breadsticks?
Not yet.
You want to buy some breadsticks?
It's a breadstick restaurant,
right?
But they give you pizzas.
Pizza is the setup.
Oh.
I love that.
A breadstick restaurant.
Come on down to our grand opening / going out of business sale. Well, I'm going to rate free setup at restaurants just a simple yes, please.
That's exactly
the exact way I say it to them. Yeah, I say that to them in their face every time.
I like that.
You guys want some chips and queso?
Yes, please.
You're such a dad.
You are. That was a great dad move.
Okay, well, I can't believe we've already done 2 reviews. It's time for the 3rd review.
The 3rd review.
And for the reveal, I am going to send you guys a picture.
Oh, I see. I like it when we do all this stuff that the audience can't see.
I know, right? They just have to get it. Okay, but I think this is going to be good. So I'm going to send you a picture.
Now.
And I'm going to review. Did you get it?
I did get it.
I got it. I'm waiting.
Oh, I wanted you to say it.
Wopsle,
so I
say what we're going to review. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
George
Costanza.
Just George
Okay, I didn't
Costanza.
know it was literally him or if it was just generic.
Just George.
His underwear that he's wearing in that picture? Are we reviewing underwear? Dad underwear?
So
back hair?
It didn't
Is that
work.
what we're reviewing? Back hair?
No, we're not. I would like to review George Costanza.
I think this is
Today.
a great topic, Sherry.
Yeah.
You have, I'm just going to say it. In my opinion, Sherry has the best topics. I believe it.
Tape, it's only gone up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's a low point to start. You started low. I like that. Which totally contradicts the statement I made at the beginning of the show about you got to come out big, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, nah, start small, man. Build up.
Well, speaking of that, George Costanza, remember he has his like theory in meetings where like whenever he has something really good happen, like, toward the end of the meeting, then he just gets up and walks out. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to beginning on a high note's nothing, ending on a high note, pulling a George Costanza. Now that's something.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many George Costanzas to pull, aren't there? Tone, what do you think about George Costanza?
Well, what comes to mind is the phrase, if I had known it was frowned upon. A lot of people don't know that is my favorite quote in the Seinfeld world. And a lot of people don't know what that's in reference to. And it's because he has, intercourse with a woman on his desk and he gets fired for it. And that's his response.
Was that bad? If I had known it was frowned upon.
That's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Mike Wopsle, what do you think about George Costanza?
Yeah, he was definitely my favorite my favorite character on there. Probably Kramer was kind of my favorite sometimes, but George was. I think the very opening scene of Seinfeld where he's talking about the second button on his shirt, like even that, I was like, wait, I like this show because it's just this weird guy talking about the button too high on his shirt.
You guys know that I am not a person who like watches things over and over and over again, but
Right.
so I can't quote things the way you guys can quote them. So I was hoping that you would bring your quote game to this.
Oh, wow.
Tone, you have. That's a good one.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we also got, but I did write down a few of them. And so these pretzels are making me thirsty.
I was gonna say, that's my only favorite quote of his that I use a whole lot. Yeah.
Did I steal it?
Well, yeah, no, it's good. It's my favorite.
So, and then we also got Sweet Fancy Moses from him.
Mm-hmm.
And we got double dipping.
There is, of course, always, I was in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We had the shrinkage. We had the shrinkage.
He says there was significant shrinkage. That one time when he's interviewing for the apartment.
I have to tell you guys a story though. Okay, so here's where I came up with the idea to review George Costanza. I mean, I thought that it was really important because back when I watched the show originally, he was just some dumb older guy, not that attractive to me. And now I saw the picture I sent to the guys, I'm going to tell all the listeners, is where George is doing this sexy photo shoot and he's in boxers and he's like roaring at the camera and he's like stretching his leg out and he's just looking all
Can
sexy.
we say he's doing an attempt at a sexy photo shoot?
Well,
and not he is doing a sexy photo shoot. Okay.
I'm getting to that point.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't thought about him, haven't seen him. And then this clip shows up with him doing the sexy photo shoot. And I'm like, he doesn't look that bad. Looks pretty good right now. So I'd hit that. Sure.
My sister.
So I could say many things, okay? My state of mind, my state of boyfriend, my age, where anything younger than me looks, I don't know. So
your expectations
and my expectations are. Oh yes. That's it.
Oh my goodness. Well, though it's funny that the sound when my mouth makes the sound Costanza, it is a derogatory term. And because I grew up, it came out really when I was ending high school and then, ran for the next 8 years or whatever. So I kind of started becoming a man really during this show. And what I found was at first I thought, well, I'm either Kramer or I'm Jerry, obviously. I mean, and then what slowly started happening, I think you guys know where I'm going, but every day that went by, I lost more hair and I gained more weight and I got a little rounder of a face and I became a little more antsy and skittish and apologetic for who I am. And I just became more Costanza every day that I've been alive since I was 18 years old. I've become more Costanza.
You're my brother, so I can't say that is sexy. So
that right. Oh,
Costanza
see now
to me is sexy. So
now I wish I was Costanza. Now I'm gonna have to put this poster up on my wall as my like
goals.
Your goals.
Yeah. my what's it called, the dream board or whatever?
Your vision board.
My vision board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Costanza. It's all it is. It's a board. Costanza.
He's on my vision board too.
Wait. Yeah, for a different reason. Wopsle, do you feel that same way that Costanza is a bad word? Is it a derogatory term?
I don't think so, because for me, this is a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I love Jerry Stiller. Like, he's my top 3 funny people on the planet. You know, he just passed away as of the recording of this.
Yeah.
And because I feel like everyone called him Costanza. They also called George Costanza some, but I associate like the word Costanza with
that
George's dad on that show as much as anything. And I mean, he was just brilliant in everything. For me, it's a pretty good word.
Well, but he's not he's a good character, but he's not a good guy. So
well, he's not a real likable, like upstanding, likable kind of character, right? Like no one emulates him or wants to be him.
I sort of feel like everything George does is to not be that. Like he wants to be someone else, something else so bad, and then he gets that to be something else, and he realizes that it's not good either. So then he has to start all over again. He's like the patron saint of fighting tooth and nail to avoid becoming your parents.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yes, you're right. That's a great call, man.
Whatever
really
he can do. And I just think that's the funniest thing. And now I think he's sexy. So whatever.
But you wouldn't, right? Yeah, but like physically, but like you wouldn't. Man, think about the stuff whenever he's like, whenever he's like, remember whenever he buys the salad for Elaine, and like she doesn't give him the right credit, or what happens? Like she doesn't. She doesn't realize that he got the big salad or whatever it was. Like he's just so like cheap and annoying when all those ways. Yes, so I don't think maybe your a poster on your wall is all that you need of Georgia Costanza in your life.
I mean, he's no Simon Le Bon, but
right. We all know that.
Right. Is that the guy from Castlevania?
No.
Yes, Simon Le Bon, and he had a whip, and then it magically turned into a mace. Wow.
Yes.
Yes, it's the guy from Castlevania. So
he also sang lead vocals for Duran Duran. He was a busy guy in the 80s.
He had a lot to do in the 80s. Yeah. So I don't know what to say. That just like took
it's also he's also the lead actor in Hot Fuzz, I believe.
Where did you pull that out of?
Hot Fuzz, the movie. He's also the guy on American Idol. That's mean to everybody.
The mean one.
Sherry, you're not. I have to explain my joke. Yeah, Simons.
Okay.
We're doing Simons.
Okay.
Thanks.
I have to say, if that makes it in the podcast, I have to explain that we are doing this we're recording at, what time is it? 9:35 at night.
At night.
At night. So I've already gone to sleep.
A little loopy.
I'm asleep right now. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I love that. Everything that just happened. That's my favorite thing so far. Even the part where I didn't get it.
What a stupid podcast.
My face is so hot right now. Oh my gosh.
I'm sweating.
Well, hey, I forgot, I've been thinking about George, and it came to me that my actual most used quote of him, and so I know we already got past the quotes, but if I didn't highlight the quote, my favorite quote of his, then it would be really upsetting to me. So there's an episode where they're trying to get to this apartment to watch some marathon, and so he and Jerry are talking about who's a bigger idiot, and you might remember where George says, "Please, a little respect, for I am Costanza, Lord of the Idiots." And that's a quote a lot of people know. But that's not the one that I use, is because as soon as he finishes that line, one of the girls leaning out the apartment window watching the runners, she puts her arms up in the air and she says, "Go, you're all winners." And then George gestures to her and he says, "Suddenly a new contender arrives." And so anytime somebody does something stupid, I will just gesture to them and say, "Suddenly a new contender arrives." And no one knows what I'm talking about, but it makes me laugh so hard.
Yes. Oh my
great.
gosh.
That is great.
Okay, I do have to say one more quote because this one is my favorite. Okay, so they're in a boardroom and he's stuffing his face with shrimp.
Mhm.
And hold on, I have a cat. Cat, you have to get the freak out of here. Seriously. Oh, you're so fat. Okay.
Hi, meow meow. Hi, meow.
No, don't encourage him.
Come here, meow meow.
Don't encourage
Okay, sorry.
in fact, that cat can't hear you, so you're just encouraging me. So
Sherry. Hi,
stop
Sherry.
that.
Don't kick me out of here, Sherry.
I just
Okay.
found a love on you.
I'm just lonely.
I don't remember where I stopped. So they're in a boardroom. George is stuffing his face with shrimp. The guy across from him says, "Hey, George, the shrimp store called and they want their shrimp back," or something like that.
The ocean.
The ocean called and they want their shrimp back.
No, they're running out of shrimp.
And they're running out of shrimp. So Tony can put all of
Hey,
those
well,
things
so
together.
You want
in
to take a run at
post.
this?
Tony, you can put all that together at the in post, right?
I totally can.
Okay, awesome. You got my back.
He won't, but he totally can.
Right?
You promise.
I got you.
Okay. So then George says, the jerk store called and they want you back.
This is.
Mhm.
It's not at
That's
all
my
how it
favorite
happened.
quote.
That's not how it happened.
Did I get that one right?
No.
We've got to record at night more often.
Are you sure?
So remember that meeting ends, and then the whole episode, George is racking his brain, and then he comes up with the best comeback, but he doesn't tell anybody what it is.
Oh, I forgot that there was time in between.
And then he finally does, and so that's whenever then they get in there. And remember, he's organized this thing between it's Michelin Tire, because the guy left and went to a different company, and he works for Michelin Tires. So George shows up trying to pitch a Michelin Tire Day that the Yankees want to do, which isn't a real thing at all. And he's got this big bunch of shrimp. So the guy delivers the line. Yeah. And then George says, the actual line is, the jerk store called. Wait, I know the line definitely is, "Oh yeah, well the jerk store called and they're running out of you." That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
I'm sure,
Okay.
because then the guy responds to that, of course, with, "Why would they worry? You're their best seller." And then got him back again. Poor George.
Okay, so let's rate George. I could talk about him all night and look at his gorgeous picture, but Tone, hubba hubba, woo woo.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you rate George Costanza of Seinfeld?
Well, he is, of course, occupies the solo spot on my vision board, and and because of that, and a combination of that, and the first thing I think of when I look at this photo that we're gonna hopefully post on social media, I'm gonna rate him the dream.
The dream. Yes,
It's what I
am
aspire
asleep
to
right
be.
now, so. Wapsel, what do you rate George Costanza?
I'm going back to the well and going to rate it with a song, because there's another episode where George is screening his calls, probably because some girlfriend or somebody's calling him, I forget. And so when Jerry calls, this is George's voicemail. It says, "Believe it or not, George isn't at home, so leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home."
Yes.
So the beauty that is my rating of George Costanza.
Yes.
I have to say that based on that, I think that I've decided George Costanza is the most non-dad in the history of the world.
Yes. Wopsle, tell the truth. Is that where you got your dadness?
Yes, I'm just emulating George Costanza to my children, but trying not to be a selfish, cheap jerk though at the same time. So
right.
Okay, well, we've made a lot of fun of him, and it's fun to do that. But I have to, he is George, so I am going to have to rate George Costanza. I'm losing it. Did I say that one right?
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is that right?
Perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
That was right. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to be it for us today, guys. So I think Wopsle might have a couple things to say to you. What you got, Wopsle?
Yeah, well, we just 14 episodes in, and we're having a lot of fun doing this, and we like to hear from you all that are that are having fun with us too. So we would love for you to email us any ideas you have. We actually haven't got a few reviews in a while, so if you've got anything on your mind, we would love to take your review and turn it into wisdom. So you can review.
Yes.
Send it
all over that.
Send it to reviews@kick.cool. And again, always kind of check it out. We're posting on YouTube, which is a really easy way to share. Everybody's got on YouTube, so just find us on the internet and say hi to us.
And also, as we do every episode, we want to give a huge thank you. You know it. You love it. The band Bugs, B-U-G-S. They sing our theme song, which is called Reviews, off of their album Self-Help. And so please go to their Facebook page, like that. Go buy their music online and go to YouTube and search for them and listen to all the good songs.
Hey, let me give a quick plug for their Instagram too. They're just such cool cats, and they're just chilling. And their Instagram is full of just good vibes. They do like Instagram live concerts all the time. They interact with a bunch of their fans all the time.
These guys hug a lot. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's awesome.
I'll bet their band used to be Hugs.
Oh, Hugs.
Yes.
It should be again. That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. So glad you could join us this week. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep doing this weekly. We might not be able to because of our schedule, but we'll let you know. So please join us next time for more reviews you didn't know you needed. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Believe it or not,
Really
George
love you.
isn't at home. Leave a message at the beat.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
Yeah, that sucked.
All right, that sucked.
All right, that sucks.